Peace, peace, peace. I got two people in here. What's good? What's good? What's up, Terica? How are you? Yeah, we didn't get on last week. We didn't get on last week. So yeah, y'all we missed y'all as well. Yeah. Last week was my birthday. Um Sunday was my birthday, and so yeah, we definitely enjoyed ourselves the whole weekend. So yeah. But we did upload something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I went live
And peace to
that
everybody else that's
Friday.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace, peace, peace.
We say too busy to turn it up. Yeah. What's
Exactly.
up, Stagism? Yeah.
Hey
Thank you,
sis.
Terica. Thank you.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
The King's
So
Corner
y'all,
podcast.
what's
Shout out
up?
to
Come on in
you.
here. Shout out King's Corner.
Yes.
Yes. How you and the lovely Empress doing? Blessings to you, Tunes. Ashe. Ooh,
Peace. What's
Tunes.
happening, brother? Yeah.
We got some tunes.
We got some tunes. Tunes, we
Yeah.
got tunes.
We
Yeah.
have to get with you, fam. Some really, really good musical energy
Yeah.
is coming through.
Yeah.
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 So we excited about that. We're trying to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much going on.
And we
We just
ain't
need
even
to get it
trying.
out.
We just getting it done.
That's true. We're just getting it done. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, we wanted to give everybody a little time to come in here. I'm Camps in the Oracle, if you don't know.
And I am Ernest.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And we are Remnants Gathering, aka Weirdo
Gang
Gang Gang.
gang. Yep.
And I wasn't quite sure like what to talk about today. So just feeling through the week and just seeing what I felt like, was important to talk about. I saw that the astrological alignment was what I had been feeling. So I want to first start off by saying if you haven't read the most recent blog that I wrote, go check that blog out.
La Dolce Vita.
Peace, Ladosa Vida.
Yeah. Peace to you. Thank you. If you hadn't checked it,
Yeah,
go ahead.
go to the blog. Go read the blog. It's dope.
T. Thomas,
Yes, T.
baby.
Thomas, what's up?
What's up?
You did.
Yeah.
But the blog at REMNANTSGATHERING.com, I talk about how the timelines are splitting and how we can feel these changes occurring and that the decisions that you're making now like are going to impact the next 10 years of your life. That's a big ass message to deliver to people to have confidence behind. So when that came through, I did not take that lightly. So go check out that most recent blog.
Alan Blaze.
Peace to you.
In the building.
Yes.
Yes.
You got that mane up in there.
Yeah.
Aye,
We
man.
see it.
That's that Memphis sauce.
Man.
So, yes. So we're gonna get into the astrological alignment, y'all, because I'm finna break this shit down. I'm finna talk about
Down.
why you've been feeling the
Down.
way you've been feeling, why you've been
Down.
dreaming the things you've been dreaming. Like,
Daniel.
I'm finna
peace
make
to
it make
you, brother.
sense to you.
Yes. Yes. Much clarity.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we got to start off with the 13 moon Mayan calendar. It's been so implemental in being a GPS system and giving us a map for our awakening to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with that. Today is a red galactic serpent energy. And that
Life matters
energy,
with Stephanie. Thank you. Glad that
Ashe.
you made it. Yes. Sister
Yes.
Bless.
People still easing in, huh?
Yeah. We're going to get
Peace,
on
life
with
matters, Stephanie. Yeah.
I'm going to stop interrupting you.
No, you're good. So, the red galactic serpent is the 13 moon Mayan calendar, and this is the energy that encompasses today. Okay, so I harmonize in order to survive. Modeling instinct. I seal the store of life force with the galactic tone of integrity. I am guided by the power of universal water. Okay? So this is the elements of this energy that's coming through.
Yeah.
Now the red serpent energy within our conscious self, let me tell you how this is showing up, probably showing up in your life. Who you are and who you are becoming. I am the flint and tinder of the sacred fire reads the meditation for red serpent. In the great mystery, the flint and tinder represent the instinctive combustion that initiates movement in the physical body toward union with the spirit. When flint and tinder are brought together, the spark of divinity awakens and ignites the fire of your essence. Red serpent invites the purifying spark of the sacred fire, the kundalini, to align and integrate your body, mind, and spirit. Red serpent can help you uncover apparent blockages in specific chakras to clear and align them. If you are working on a process of purification, invite red serpent to assist you. Red serpent symbol is the serpent representing healing and wholeness. This Mayan medicine can remove toxins, rejuvenate, and transform disease. Y'all see how this is all playing together? So, like, anything that you're seeing and hearing about corona, you know, like, you kind of got to think twice about it, because it's energy coming in, it's healing energy. So, you know, a lot of this is the engineering that they're doing to try to get the outcome in the world that they want. So, you know, just being aware of the illusion. So the red serpent is also known by the Maya as the kundalini or kundalini, the energy that moves up from the base of the spine and out through the crown chakra. Now remember, corona means crown. So the energy that we've been under has been attacking this activation within your crown chakra that has been happening. So there are two aspects of this force, the Ida and the Pingala, representing its male and female polarities. One of the ancient secrets of the red serpent is the activation of higher states of consciousness through balancing these two polarities so that they dance within us as one. Have you been feeling pulled to want to make sure that your masculine and feminine attributes are aligned and balanced? You're not wanting to be out of balance anymore? Like, that shit just not straight. You just like, no, I need to get this shit together, you know? This is why. Another metaphor for this serpent energy comes from the Mayan words Luke, Uman, Tunbin, Kan, or those absorbed by the serpent of the sacred knowledge. When the seven chakras are fully activated, one experiences an enlightened state. Red serpent represents the basic structural apparatus of your motivations, your instincts, your desires, and your innate movement towards wholeness. Red serpent asks you to shed the skin of your past and step into the fires of alchemical transmutation. And this rebirth is revealed. This desire is an innate response that's encoded in the depths of your being. With the energy of red serpent, you learn to use the innate intelligence of the body. In this culture, you may have become separated from this wisdom. It works like this. When you suppress and ignore your issues, your body receives and retains the unconscious metaphors of that which is ignored. Did you hear that? When you suppress it, your body receives and retains the unconscious metaphors of that which is ignored. This may be expressed through physical symptoms that bring your unconscious issues to conscious awareness. Wow. When this happens, work towards a more conscious relationship with your body and work with the physical metaphors in order to heal yourselves on all levels. So this is confirmation how I've, just me personally have been so just pulled to focus on the sacral chakra, and I couldn't figure out why. This is confirmation as to why I was feeling that strong pull. This is a great time to work on your sacral chakra so that you can recreate with this life force energy that's being activated, this kundalini energy, and reclaim your sexual sovereignty. Like, that's where the real power is. Right now, tapping into that energy, tapping into your sensual, sexual self in any way that you feel comfortable and can, and even some ways maybe that you don't feel comfortable, but just pushing the limits and pushing the bounds with self-pleasure and with just turning that which you expected to receive from outward and giving it to yourself. that allows for this alchemical transformation to take place. So see, while we were in the 3D matrix, our sexual energy was just up for any spirit's taking, because a lot of us were asleep. A lot of us were, just very
Just
disconnected
unconscious.
from our body,
Yeah.
and the sacredness of our body.
Yeah. And so, that brings us to the point, the fact that we are surviving religion, the fact that we have come to this awareness and consciousness, and the type of energy, time, and work that it takes going into releasing all of this stuff and breaking free from all of it. You know what I'm saying? And so with this red serpent, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's time. It's time.
Yeah, it's overdue.
Yeah.
It's overdue. So you want to pick up?
Okay. The serpent also represents the connection between powerful, physical, ecstatic experiences and the light of higher consciousness. This is an initiation of awakening through the body and senses rather than in negation of them.
Yeah, here it is. So a lot of us, the school of thought we come from was to deny the body of certain senses, to deny yourself of certain senses, and to not indulge.
Yes.
But now indulgence is like the way. You got to indulge. You got to have moments where you're just like, yeah, this is just an indulgent moment.
That which was taboo and forbidden is the place that you want to go.
Yeah. Absolutely.
As Jose Aguilera says in The Mayan Factor, like the Maya, we shall understand that the path to the stars is through the senses. Within the body are held the keys to fully awakening our consciousness. This deeper understanding is expressed in tantric practices, where spirituality and sexuality are integrated and honored as a means to enlightenment. Red serpent represents the integration of mind, body, and spirit. Use the body as a tool for transformation. Learn how to use passion and the senses as a means of access and alignment to higher consciousness. Follow your gut level intuitions and instincts to make choices from moment to moment. Be willing to look at issues you have concerning intimacy and sexuality. Make sure that you are not separated from the dance of passion that is in union with your divine nature. Sense your deeper desire for union and intimacy. Red serpent calls on you to awaken your vitality, body wisdom, and passion for life. Red serpent is associated with the sacred tools of the drum and the rattle. Drums and rattles can break down old patterns or bring energy into alignment.
Now,
Man, that speaks
just
volumes.
remember when I didn't look at this when I started focusing on the sacral chakra and making the potions, and then Ernest is doing the crystals and the crystal jewelry with the carnelian and the copper that he's been wrapping, that we're putting on the website as we go. We didn't read any of this. So when I was just like, okay, let's go and pull up the information for the show for Sunday and let's look at the Mayan calendar, the shit like blew me away. Like, I was like, wow, we've been so in touch. We haven't even been checking the calendar every day. And still we
Been in
can see
alignment.
that we in alignment with this energy.
Peace from
So-
North Africa.
Peace to you. All the way from North Africa. That's love. Welcome. So y'all, this is it. And it sounds, coming out of my mouth, it does sound weird talking about, enlightenment through self-pleasure, through sex, through pleasuring each other, learning different ways
Yeah.
of pleasure, learning different ways of indulgence, different things that smell good to you, that taste good to you. I went and bought new colognes, just tapping into the senses. See, we've been dead and asleep for so long, so we have to awaken. We have to reawaken the body. We're reanimating our bodies.
Yes.
Because we became very autonomous in living and thinking and being. And so now you have aches and stuff in your body, and it's like that's your body's way of getting your attention,
No sensation.
And like, hey, I need some attention. He's just like, oh, what's going on with my bag? You know, like it's not just because we're getting older.
Right.
It's because the responsibility level is increasing with the increased consciousness. And so we're not living automated anymore. We have to live intentional.
That's right.
We have to be mindful and connected to our whole self and our body. So doing the sacral chakra the whole kit that we been putting together. We're going to be doing a meditation for the sacral very soon, but I don't want you all to stray away from this and forget this. If you cannot commit to something that is pleasurable for you every day, every other day, but try your best to squeeze it in and get it in when you can. Make it a priority to do this and invest in this for yourself. We need this. We need to work with this energy in order to do what we were called to do. And a lot of us are disconnected from our passions in life because we have these blockages in these areas, and sometimes it's just too painful to look at. Sometimes it's just too painful to deal with.
Right.
Sometimes you get overwhelmed and you feel like, damn, I'm learning so much stuff is wrong with me. I'm overwhelmed by that. So
And it will freeze you.
It will.
It will arrest you. It will arrest you and have you in a place of stagnation.
Yeah.
I'm speaking from experience. Yes.
So
You want me to pick up here?
yeah.
Okay.
So there was this movie I was watching, and in this movie, I had been feeling like today. I haven't had confirmation today. I've also been feeling like with all this happening that a very specific portal has opened, and the portal has caused increased violence, violent tendencies, rage that you can't control, things like that. The Kundalini energy rising has a what you would kind of look at as a negative side too. There's two sides to everything. And so when people are unawakened and not mastering that, but they're getting these surges of energy, and they're not doing shadow work, and they're not doing self-love work, and they're not going into your subconscious mind, they're not getting to know their own demons and integrating them, they're not communicating with their higher self, well, that energy is going to turn into something harmful.
That's right.
So even in our own city, I don't know where you live, and yes, Memphis does have a reputation for having we're one of the murder capitals in the United States. However, I believe this is happening all over right now.
Right. Yeah.
And so I was feeling it real strong, and it had overwhelmed me. I have to cut my energy off sometimes, and it sounds simple, but it's not. It takes a lot of work to do, to detach myself from everything that's happening in the world. And I kind of have to go into this cocoon just to protect myself and guard myself, because I'm so easily connected to these many different energies that I can feel. And so what happened was I was watching a movie, and they showed this poster board, and on the poster board it had April 18th, but of 2004. But it was just out of place. It was weird. It was out of place. And we'll add this picture that I saw to the blog when we finish the show, so y'all can go there and you'll have the links that we use to put all of this together today, in the picture. So I was just like, something is going on. It feel like it's a war finna break out. So don't be surprised if you find out that we're going to war with
Let me read.
somebody.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, the reason why this is being covered is due to the picture from that movie that she just showed you called Fallen Angels. And that's what initially got her attention. I almost feel like it will be new war happening this day. Now, Biden sent 2 warships to post up in the Black Sea. But why?
And the U.S.
sides with NATO. And this statement makes it clear the reason why. In addition, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said in Berlin that the U.S. will station an additional 500 troops in Germany in a message that we support NATO in the fullest extent. Austin's Russian counterpart, Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu, said on Tuesday that the country was taking measures to respond to threatening military action by NATO, including combat readiness checks and troop exercises. Now, Shongu said Russia had moved 2 armies and 3 paratrooper units to near its western borders in the last 3 weeks in response to NATO deploying 40,000 troops near Russia's borders, mainly in the Black Sea and the Baltic regions.
So after I had that strong
40,000.
message, this popped up in my email. And I just so happened to have been looking at my email right as it popped up. And I clicked on it and was like, wow, I was picking up on that war energy. So, as we are going through these upgrades and working with these energies and working on ourselves, then you have all of this happening too. And so what's happening is like these old gods and these new gods, and then we're coming into the picture and like we're claiming sovereignty now, and we're on the evolutionary path coming out of just being mere men and being gods and goddesses and mastering our lives with intent. Like we doing that shit. That's huge. So what's happening, the demand for blood is increasing. So whoever is going to ultimately be in power are going to have to be able to have this certain amount of blood that's brought. So even with a lot of the things that you see with the pandemic and stuff, these are the blood sacrifices that's necessary to power these empires who have lost power because the old structure is dying and they're having to reset and redo everything. So this is manifesting on many different levels. So then I went into you think so? Okay. So then I went into the energy. I wanted to see what was going on with the sun. Just I don't do astrology. I'm an intuitive. So when it comes to me intuitively, and if the sun is communicating to me, like pay attention to me, pay attention to my position, and share that message. So that's what I did in perfect alignment. We're just gonna read it to y'all and let you see, and let's see how many shades we get.
How much of it resonated?
Yeah.
Especially so on the 14th and the 15th, if you just recollect last week, the sun is square Pluto and Jupiter. The sun, powerfully exalted in Aries, comes into a testy and triggering square aspect with both Pluto and Jupiter in Capricorn the following day. The first square is a clash between perception and transformation.
Ooh.
Y'all hear that? A clash between perception and transformation.
Yes.
Where the forces of awareness and consciousness bristle against the forces of disintegration and irreversible change. I'm going to read that again. The first square is a clash between perception and transformation, where the forces of awareness and consciousness bristle against the forces of disintegration and irreversible change. So our sense of courage is being challenged by the intense crisis of our times. And today may feel like a make or break moment. It's a turning point where we need to make some hard decisions and fully commit to a new path that we may not feel ready to walk, but must follow just the same. It's a time to cut ties and take risks for long-term well-being. The following day, this square aspect shifts from dark and enigmatic Pluto to cautiously optimistic Jupiter in Capricorn, which catalyzes our actions and reconnects us to the bigger picture. Jupiter in Capricorn soberly encourages us, amplifying our resolve and catalyzing our drives. Now, how will the planetary placements impact relationships and sexual energy? So, based from the 14th and the 15th, some of you can maybe recall some of your experiences and what your aura was like, or what the vibration was like. What was that frequency that you kind of like saw continually throughout your day? moving, as I asked that question, how will these planetary placements impact our relationships and sexual energy? Okay, now moving to April 17th through the 19th, which is where we are now. Mercury is sextile Venus and Mars, and the Sun enters Taurus. Mercury in potent and primal Aries forms a supportive sextile with Venus in Gemini, heating up our relationships with words of love and attraction. This is a time for verbally expressing any amorous or creative visions in a swift and inspired way. This day is vibrating with playful and romantic possibilities. The following day, Mercury in assertive Aries forms a sextile with Mars in Aquarius. The other planetary astrologically connected to sexuality and attraction. While Venus's sexuality is playful and affectionate, Mars's influence is more primal and insistent, awakening instinctual urges and a desire for the chase. After yesterday's playful exchanges, some sparks may be igniting, and any words or expressions of love may be yielding some powerful results. At the very least, this aspect bodes well for taking creative risks and initiating bold new projects. Then, on April 19th, the sun leaves its sign of exaltation to enter Taurus, the sign of nature's bounty and beauty. This is the heart of spring season, when the element of earth in its fixed, established mode and the damp, fertile soil is beginning to yield new growth. It's the time of year for spring cleaning, beautifying ourselves and our world, and reconnecting to outdoor life after a long insular hibernation season in the northern hemisphere. Taurus is a receptive, patient sign, much like its symbolic bull, making this a good time to slow down and smell the roses after the propulsion of Aries season awakening and driving new change and momentum. Taurus is ruled by Venus in playful and energetic Gemini now, adding a highly mental and curious mood to this solar ingress.
And April 22nd, we're gonna have a new moon in Taurus. So I know this is hitting for some of y'all already, but some of y'all about to see. Okay, this energy is gonna be very, very strong and present. And the more you release resistance to it and just go with the flow, listen to your intuition, you'll be able to have some new experiences with this energy. So the new moon in Taurus coming up April 22nd. So within a few days of the solar shift into Taurus season, we have April's new moon in Taurus. The new moon is a time of conjunction between the light of day and the light of night. So y'all probably having a lot of shadow aspects about you coming up, marking the end of lunar month and the beginning of the next. Symbolically, it's time to take rest, to go within, conserving energies and suspending actions until the moon gains light again. The house that Taurus is in on the cups of in our birth charts and the area of life it may be connected to, we will be re-energizing in the upcoming months. We can take some time now to restore and recharge our vitality by turning to self-care practices and relaxing inactivity. Since Taurus is an earth sign of embodiment and sensuality, nutrition and body care may be most important now. Taking a break from overstimulating and heavy new feeds will help us reset our lunar rhythms and reconnect us to nature. So, that's yes.
I'm hungry and I don't want.
Go tell PJ to give you your pizza.
I don't want PJ to make. No, I don't want pizza.
Okay. We'll
I want oatmeal.
Okay.
But it's going to make too much noise.
It's okay. Just go tell your brother. So, y'all, I mean, it's like I said, this was just as I'm going and pulling up the astrology, and I'm pulling astrology from so many different sources just to see the alignment, and everything is pretty much pointing to the same thing. So yeah, you know, when that happens, you just have to, and see, Ernest just recently had an experience with his shadow self. His Christian ego self showed up.
Yeah, go.
It was so funny because you now you starting to observe yourself. Are y'all feeling this too?
Yeah.
Where you observe the shit you be thinking and you be like, damn, why am I thinking that?
Or the shit you be saying.
Or the shit you be saying.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what were we doing? We were talking about something, and
I was
My
referring
Christian-
to how I was a Christian.
yeah, how
in,
she
in
went
the
how she-
light, in the day, and in the night. I
Night.
tried to be a Christian in both.
like yeah, very very real and authentic.
There wasn't nothing to be proud of.
But
You know what
nothing
I'm
to be proud
saying?
of. Look, then my little Christian ego, it said, what? Me too, or some shit like that. So I was like, I had to defend it. I was like, damn. And then we started laughing. I started laughing immediately after. And was like, damn, why did I have to say that? That wasn't even like, I don't. Who cares? You know what I'm saying?
Like, I worship Jesus harder than you. No,
That
hold
shit's
up now.
crazy.
No, did nobody worship Jesus harder than I did? I'm like, you defending that shit?
Right,
Like,
right.
it
We
was
just,
crazy.
Yeah, we just started laughing like, oh hell. But it's good
Yeah.
to be able to be in a space to even catch yourself.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And the astrological alignment is helping us to do this, y'all.
Yeah.
So that's why we wanted to go over so much of this.
No, we not Christian.
No.
We not Christian either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yes, that's what's up, Rika Shy. So, I was gonna say more about this Christian paradigm thing, because we've been talking about surviving religion, and I feel like it's important to talk about this. Let's get into just a little bit more of what's been happening, but I know y'all
used to
ego
go
been doing
hard.
some crazy shit too. Yeah.
You say you used to go hard too. Yeah, man.
You know,
Too funny.
it's just, you know,
The fact that he tried to like defend it, like
Yeah.
like you know what I'm saying? And here I am, you know what I'm saying? Some crazy shit.
that
like,
shit's
what the fuck?
sick. That shit, look, y'all, we have survived religion. That's
Peace,
a big deal.
Lord,
Spiritual awakening for
Lord,
most
child
of
divine.
Black and brown people. Surviving Jehovah. Surviving Yaldabaoth, the mofo that killed more people than anybody. Somebody actually counted how many people Yaldabaoth, aka Yahweh in the Bible, killed versus Satan. And I had saw the
A
post, and it
landslide.
was like Satan had killed one,
Compared to-
and the God of the Bible had killed like 2 billion,
Yeah.
and not even including the flood.
Yeah. It was like, oh wow. Yeah.
I'm like, we was going so hard
hard.
for such an evil energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing should scare us now. You know what I'm saying? Fear isn't an illusion. It's an illusion, y'all. And so it's just I was riding down the street coming back, and I was like, you know, we should continue to make a big deal about us being
Yes, we
able to
will.
come out of religion, and we will, and we are. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And digging into the metaphysical elements of that and the hooks that put in our souls and the way it fragmented us as a people and broke up the family structure and detached us from having a healthy divine masculine, divine feminine relationship.
Yeah.
It caused us to go into this energy where men and women feel like we're fighting each
Against each
other.
other.
We're at war with each other.
Right.
We're at war with our lower nature, our lower chakras.
Right.
We're at war with our primal self, that animal self, that sexual self, that part of you that likes
Makes
to
you
be,
hate yourself.
you know, yeah. You
Ain't
know,
that crazy?
and you
Damn.
just you beat yourself up about it, and so what's the mind fuckery?
That's some twisted shit,
The
bro.
mind fuckery behind this is, see, this shit then awakened. See, my dark goddess already had been wanting to say some shit, so I'm finna get it out. But the mind fuckery of this is, I'm gonna give you to a family who have passed down all of these laws, and these laws we say come from this God, and you got to follow all of these laws, all of these commandments. But Even though you got to follow all these laws and commandments, you're free. The people who are out in the world that aren't following these laws and commandments, they're in bondage.
And lost.
You see the mind fuckery? So why would the Great Delusion call itself the Great Delusion? The Great Delusion is going to call itself the complete opposite, which is what religion represents. So to get away from this is a new God. Yahweh, aka Yaldabaoth, in comparison to many other gods, is a newer God. Okay? That God is now dying. So what's happening, this war that a lot of us are feeling, like
That's true.
a lot of us may be
DJ.
drawn and connected to those darker archetypes, you know, the Lilith and the Sekhmet and the Set and the energies of these warrior archetypes, you know, the Shangos, the Oyas, like whatever you're finding yourself drawn to that was usually considered dark, and like you're wondering why, and why am I being drawn to this? And it's because this is us restoring the balance. So in actuality, for a lot of people who are in religion, they think that they're in light and worshiping a God of light, but it's not. It's a false light.
Right.
So, you know, it's
One-
just
One thing just to add, one thing that always just continue to resonate when it comes to all of this overcoming religion and really looking at it from the outside looking in, is the fact that nothing about it when you're in religion requires you to really fix yourself.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't even have to look at yourself for too long. You can
Right.
go tell Jesus.
You cast your cares to
Yeah.
cast your cares to God, or you
Yeah.
cast your cares onto Jesus, and the expectation and the thought process is that it just instantaneously removed. I done cast my cares, my whatever the issues I have. No, you know, we can make a list of issues, and you pray and you repent and you cast all of that to God or to Christ, your Savior, and then you good. That's the illusion that it has, because only until you start getting to know yourself and start trying to do some shadow work and clean up some shit will you realize how fucked up you are. And then to realize that all this time I was putting it off and thinking that I was putting it off because me putting it off on Jesus or me putting it off on God was taking it away from me, but I ain't never do no work.
It was actually repressing it.
It was just holding it there, wasn't it?
So when you repress a demon, right? When you're forcing a demon to live and exist in a way it wasn't supposed to, you're at war within yourself.
Yep.
So naturally, when you die, you're not going to go to the next level of the afterlife because you've
That's
been
right.
guilt-ridden. Your soul has been made heavy, so your heart is going to be weighed heavy when
Heavier.
you do your life review.
That's right.
You see how it traps you?
That's
So
a
you'll
trap.
come back and have to go right back in religion in another incarnation again because you didn't deal with that shit. And so what was just shown to me recently was, because me and Ernest, just gonna be real, we've been very focused on our demons and mastering them and integrating with them and not avoiding them anymore and
Right.
repressing them and learning healthy ways to work them into our beingness, our existence in a healthy way.
That's right.
So, because what happens, like with DMX, for example, he's a perfect example. We all have two currents, two primary currents that run through us, which is the light and the dark, the positive and the negative polarity, the electric and the magnetic energy, the feminine energy and the masculine energy, the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. No human being is one thing.
Right.
We're a dualism
Right.
within one body.
Exactly.
So we, under the age of Pisces, we've been suppressing everything that we were taught was bad, that you shouldn't do, it's taboo, you know, this is
Stay away
wrong.
from it.
Right. So now that we're tapping into this, They're wanting to push out these vaccines and stuff because they know that tapping into this energy current is what's breaking the matrix and gonna liberate us from the soul trapping we've been in. So in case of DMX, he was very aware of his demons and would even let them write songs. You know, he would let them just allow his demon self to speak, and it would like I remember some songs he would talk about. He talked about raping a 14-year-old. You know, and that's some real dark shit that he was talking about. You know, so when Earl would show up, Earl was a whole different person than X. So, but what happened was he went in the direction of Yahweh, right hand path, to cover it with prayer. Even though you're saying you're covering it with blood and prayer, what you're doing is you're covering it. So you're not integrating with it, you're not dealing with it, you're not mastering it, you're just sweeping it under something. You're masking it instead of mastering it.
Exactly.
So when you die, guess who it is you meet?
Ding, 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 ding.
Your demons. Because that is the consciousness, that is what fills up your psyche that is unintegrated, that you have not explored. You have not done any shadow work. So this causes you to be a very divided person. So we don't need a God to pass judgment on us, because you pass judgment on yourself. Right. And even now that a lot of us have gotten free, we're still going through the process of purging that self-critical religious police in our minds, always telling us what's wrong with us and what, you know, you just can't do shit right.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, rest in peace, raising power to DMX, you know what I'm saying? The angelic side of him was, you know, from what we hear, a really great dude. But he has some demons, and this just shows you that right hand path is a trap. The right hand path is the trap. And that's why so many people are on it. It's such a broad path.
That book says that broad is the way that leads to what? Eternal damnation.
Yeah.
And narrow is the way that leads to what?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. To heaven.
But when we speak that, even though the book itself says that, in most cases, the people that are still in that, and like it's been said, we empathize, we sympathize too, because we was there. But in most cases, as you are a student and a follower of the Bible, when it say that, you automatically look outside of yourself and say, okay, this is not talking about me and the people that follow like me. This is talking about everybody else.
Yeah.
But then when we look at it, the numbers are man, you know, you got more and more people converting to that religion. Just
It's you know, it's so okay, let's get into this. So what has happened now, we're on two whole separate earths. And as we're going through these DNA upgrades, these awakenings, I'm going to share an akashic download with y'all right after this, because it's deep. Because when you listen to these vibratory words and these thoughts of these higher frequencies, it's going to activate shit within you that maybe something within your subconscious or unconscious mind is suppressing and doesn't want to come to the surface. So you need to hear the information, and once it hits your ear gates and that vibration throughout your body, then it can activate and it helps you to be able to get to the next step in your own evolution. Okay? So yes, so let me read this, and then I want to get into this akashic download. And I have been thinking about doing these akashic downloads in a membership format. That's what we've been thinking about doing, because when they come with so many light codes that are going to activate you and so much information. I'm gonna be real, that stuff I can't keep doing for free. Because to truly tap into the akashic realm and to bring that information through intuitively, and it's accurate and it be consistent, it is very valuable and it is sacred. And I kind of really had not been treating it that way, but this information is time sensitive. So I am going to read one of these to you, because I feel like if I don't, it may be a detriment to the collective, because I know that I'm here to give these messages. So just letting you know, moving forward, we are looking to create a membership fashion, because some of the stuff that comes through for me, there are so many entities that I have to battle with just to get this message to your ear gates. That it's being censored very heavily. Some stuff I just cannot say on here, that I know needs to come through. And it's crazy, but I have been battling with that for a little while, so we're working on that, but I'm going to share some of that. So this is more energy reading as to what is happening in the hidden realms that's impacting us. So whereas 2020 was all about reclaiming sovereignty, now it's walking the path with spiritual alignment. It's time to shift how we create reality. Rather than struggling to fix the outer world in some way, which merely contracts you into it, instead, it's about focusing on the inflow of your soul and paying attention to that. The outer world starts to shape from the inner flow of soul consciousness itself. As you witness more signs and synchronicities, as you feel the subtle perceptions and nuances of interrelation, then the outer landscape weaves itself miraculously from what you're perceiving. All you have to do is now step into that new shaping reality as a path of light that is forming under your feet. So this is activating our Merkaba in a new way. The vibration is starting to change in our Merkaba activation. And these are all of the energy centers and vortexes that exist around you, and ultimately is created by your perception. The way that it is reacting with your world is created by your perception. So this is why the key is just really going within yourself and not being afraid to dive deep into your own darkness, into your own shit, and looking at it, and then figuring out a way to love it. Because ultimately, it is part of your journey.
Destiny.
Yeah, it's part of your process. It's not something to be hated, ignored, or mistreated. It's something to be respected. Whatever about you have found that is imperfect, is flawed, wounded, it's to be respected and to be loved. And then you can work with it. So this is what it means when you're going to hear people saying having the eagle eye focus of 2021. So focus within and feel what your soul is wanting to say to you, and listen to that. And then make aligned choices accordingly. Okay, so my friends, we have a golden opportunity unfolding before us to release the grief that you might feel for those who will heed into the synthetic reality. Y'all, this is what's happening.
We got it. We see it. Family members, friends.
Yes. People that refuse to awaken, people that refuse to accept the truth of what's happening, people that no matter how much you talk to them about the jab, they go get it anyway. You know,
how much information, how much documentation.
They're choosing that synthetic reality that we're coming out of. Yeah. And we're going to have to process how we're going to process grief. And I just recently had a situation where I had to face the way that I would process certain griefs from certain situations unfolding as a result of people that I care about remaining unawakened. So,
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I see you had asked about Patreon. I think that was Natasha. Okay. Yeah. We do have a Patreon, but we hadn't populated it like we want to with the information.
Yeah.
So y'all definitely stay tuned, and thank you, Miss Loving Life, for clarifying that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so we will definitely let you know once we get it available, which will probably be no time.
So y'all, with these different timelines, these different realities that you're starting to be able to see, that you can see both realities. You know, you have to realize that some of the people that you care about, that's just their karmic choice. That is their path of their choosing. But you don't have to go their way. Assuming, you know, and assuming a strong wave of humanity does wake up to the challenge, the state narrative, as I believe it will, you know, the narrative that we've been up under, with that 3D matrix and the way it operates. Just remember, you're stepping out of the system. So the people who are refusing to not unplug from it, we have to be able to process how we're going to deal with that. And you know, I get glimpses of this in my dreams, and learning how to sit with your own negative, dense emotions is so important to do, so that when these intense situations manifest in your own reality, it doesn't get the best of you and drag you down into a vibration that you have already been in and leveled up from. And you know, and don't get stuck there. So yeah, this is, you know, the energy of that. And the akashic download that I'm going to share with you guys, like I said, they come when they come. I can't force them. They just show up when they show up, and they are really, really, really deep as hell. So I'm just channeling the information. So I'm going to share the one that I felt like was very time sensitive. I was channeling this week, and you know, like I got like 3 or 4 huge downloads. Like I have to sleep after this happens. Sometimes I just have to lay in the bed or just rest. Like I can't even explain it, but just tapping into that amount of energy and information, when you know, and
It pulls you, you drain.
yeah, and I have to, I be laid out after this comes through. But it kind of remind me like the movies with like the oracle or something, to start channeling this information and information coming through, and then after that they'll kind of pass out. And I used to be like, that's crazy, it makes no sense, and I get it now. So let's see, let me go to this.
Hey, we got 44 people in here. Y'all, we only got
Yes.
27 likes.
Yes.
If this is resonating with you, y'all go ahead and give it a thumbs up.
So, okay. So this is the Akashic download that I felt like I needed to share now. So as a kid, many of us was afraid of the dark. But why? Darkness is the place creation happens. It doesn't happen in the light.
Right.
We have an addiction to light, and this includes false light. We have an internal program to hate the dark, fear the dark, and demonize the dark. This includes the feminine, because feminine energy is naturally dark. And oh my gosh, I've been on some really dark shit lately, you know, and
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
stop making me laugh. Oh my gosh. But yeah, he over here making sound effects. I shaved. Thank you, sis. May they return to you 30, 60, 100-fold. Shut up.
Thank you. Yes, Mommy Slow.
But yeah, I've just been really, really drawn to the darkness and to face that. So on a subconscious level, when you have this fear, do y'all remember fearing this shit as a kid? I know it wasn't just us. Like, I don't know. It was something about the dark as a kid. It just went straight. Like, I would hold my pee to keep from walking through the house in the
What you
dark.
said.
Especially if I'm at creepy grandmama's house where the floors squeak.
What'd you say?
She
What'd
live
you
near the
say?
woods. I can hear animals in the backyard. I'm just not walking around
We
the
did
house.
not fuck with darkness. I did not fuck with that. Look, I did not fuck with darkness. I cut on all the lights in the hallway just to go to my bedroom. Like
Thank
it's
you
late
for
at
the
night.
donation.
It's late at night.
May they
My
return
folks
to
or
you.
something, they in the front room, they like, all right, go to bed.
See?
I'm walking through the house cutting all the lights on. And then it's on them to cut the lights off. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my room. I was scared of the dark like that. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Y'all see this. You see what I'm
Man.
talking about? So even if you didn't really come through religion like some of us may have, whether you catch this on the live or catch this later, just know that this program was embedded in
Yeah.
us, you know, to
You
feel
hear
like
them
this about
voices.
the dark,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be real. My relationship with the dark was really strange. It comforted me and it scared me sometimes too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And as a kid, like, you know, my Cabbage Patch, for example, I saw my Cabbage Patch come alive and run across the room several times as a kid. So, you know, when you're a kid and you are psychic, Shay, thank you for
Thank
that,
you.
Heather
Thank you.
Huggins.
Yes.
May they return to you 36 or 100 fold, sis.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know, so what would happen for a lot of us, we were afraid of the dark because we had these psychic superpower gifts even then. Just think about it. A lot of us had not been programmed as much as we have now. So the shit that you was afraid of, it wasn't unreal shit. Like our parents were like, that's not real.
Right.
And you're like, no, I'm telling you, there's something in that closet. I'm not going in that room. I'm not sleeping in that room no more. Whatever it was, like as kids, we could pick up on it so easily.
Yes.
And our parents would always say, that ain't real. That's just made up, you know? So, yeah, this is why a lot of us became addicted to the light, which made us addicted to manipulating the way the world perceives us to avoid conflict and avoid darkness and avoid dense energy.
That totally formed a disposition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That formed a personality disposition to the point to where everything that had dark energy on it, it was just connotated as being something either evil, wicked, or just something to stay away from altogether.
It needs
You
to
know
be
what I'm saying?
avoided.
Nothing good
Right.
comes from the dark. But goddamn it, we was born
Yep.
in
From
the
the
dark.
dark. But you know, this goes back to the subconscious collective programming and unconscious. So on a subconscious level, you are actually anti-transformation when you feel this way about darkness and demons and even the left-hand path. When that shit make you feel some kind of way, there's a part of you that's inside of there that has this fear factor, and that means that you're anti-transformation and you're anti-growth because that happens in the dark. So diving into my own psyche has revealed how much I have suppressed my darkness, hoping people will love me and accept me or approve of the moves I make in
Peace
life.
into 'em.
So, you know, for a lot of us, maybe you had some dark expressions. You know, I know I used to draw dark shit when I was a kid. I didn't know why. People would look at it and be like, "Is that blood?" And this thing. I'm like, "Yeah." It was very normal.
I know
Our music was
dark.
dark. Yeah.
Coming
So
from Memphis.
it was innocent
Our
though,
music
you know.
dark as hell.
It's as dark as it
Yeah.
was. It was just
I
organic.
loved it. We loved it. though,
Yeah.
shit.
It was
But that
organic.
that was after we kind of like came out of that, you know what I'm saying? And it was almost like, ooh, you had your, and that's something that's a part of the growth and relearning yourself that we're going through now, that you realize you have these aspects about yourself, your dual nature, that you got a light side about you, and then you got that dark side about you. And instead of kicking that dark side to the curb and being like, I don't like that part
Yeah.
about me, shit, love your dark side. But yeah, 3-6 my Lord
Yeah,
infamous.
exactly.
Y'all, yes.
Yeah.
So we are at that place now to where we are learning that on this journey of self-mastery, self-discovery, you have to fully integrate both parts of yourself.
Yes.
You gotta totally love all of yourself. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing bad about you.
Yeah.
The way that you're created, the way that we're created.
Yeah.
We just have to exercise
Yeah.
exercise it to the best of, you know what I'm saying, our benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the suppressing of the feminine too for you know, a lot of us having this conversation. So this is the worst way to live, because you would never be able to achieve anything living like that, because our darkness holds our power. So what secrets do you hide? You know, what sins back when you identified with that you commit over and over and over again? All of these things are clues to who your true self is. Are you ashamed of your perceived darkness? Like, how do you feel about your own dark shit to come up? You know, why are you afraid to let the world see who you are as a whole person? Like, why are we afraid to let the world see who we are as a whole person? So a great example of that is like some of the music that I've been working on. And if you listen to my music from way back in the day too, when I was, touring and stuff with a lot of these rappers from Memphis, it was really dark, and it was just who I was. I have that dark current like everybody do, and I knew how to tap into it and allow that energy to express itself in an art form as words. So the new music that's coming out, like, you might even be like, no, that's not the same, but it's very important that we do that so that we can be whole people,
Right.
and stop trying to be and exist within these parameters.
Right.
You can't put an immortal soul of the ancient awakening one in a box.
Right.
Like we're the ones, the mummies might be laying in Egypt and shit and all over the world, but we're the consciousness that incarnated and as a sentient being in this time right now. You can't
Contain it.
that. There is no container for that. Religion tried to hold us, and that shit, it's like just not working. We're just not going for it. So what will happen if you allow your darkness to be seen? But I tell you, you'll be able to step into more of your own power, because remember, seeds grow in the dark. They receive the power and the nourishment that they need to grow in the dark. Unfortunately, the reason people hide who they are, what they do, and how they behave is due to the pressure on collective level that we have all put on each other to be good and to be what we think is acceptable.
Right. All of that was passed down from somebody to begin with.
Yeah.
What's acceptable and what's not acceptable. What's beneficial and what's not beneficial. That was just somebody's ideology that said, hey, this is what it should be. And that was that. And it was set into motion.
Yeah.
And we have been following along in all of these paradigms ever since.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, Firewater. So, when we do that, and when we have these judgmental things, because we have this shit about our own self. Let's be real. That's why even if you got past to the point of projecting this on other people, you project it onto yourself. This is why we're awakening, so that we can become whole. So that causes us to be a part of the problem. So we have to allow people to be exactly who they are, and then we have to also practice being exactly who we are, without judgment, without passing condemnation, and so in religion, condemnation was disguised as I'm trying to save you and help you, when really that particular thought form was making us heavy with guilt. Sin is not even a real thing.
Right.
It just gave us the illusion that sin was a real thing, so that we would make ourselves heavy,
Right.
so that we could continue to be a source to feed off of. That's a lot of sexual energy that people don't know exists and what to do with, and are afraid to tap into it, learn about it, and begin practicing and using it.
Yes.
That's a lot of sexual energy.
And we're going to deal with
That
that
they've been siphoning
heavy in this upcoming webinar too.
Yeah. So a mature soul knows these things. So a lot of us are old souls, and we're awakening to these things, right? I just talked a little bit more. If you're not following us on Instagram, go follow us on Instagram. Our last Instagram got took away from us because of some content we were putting out, which is why we say we got to do something on another platform, subscription based, because we've been getting in trouble. But go to Remnants Gathering WGG on Instagram and follow us. We post as much as we can there without getting in trouble, and it's a little bit more freedom than YouTube right now. So you want to get into shedding this false light, y'all, shedding this false self, this religious influence, these societal pressures, the pressures put on Black women, the social engineering with hip hop. Tavistock Institute studied us and social engineered us and watched it work for decades.
Right.
Your childhood. So the question to be asking yourself is, who am I really? Without all of the programming, who am I? You know? So
You
it
gotta tell
don't
them.
matter what people feel
Thanks,
about
Lord.
me. This is the way the download came to me. Stop caring about what people feel about you. Because what you feel about you should be where your peace comes from, not what other people feel about you. This is being a whole person.
Yeah.
So people come to me for help because I allow people to be them without the judgment. I see the creator in everything, light and dark, and I see the benefits in both. And we are all to learn how to do this. And I just go into talk about how my life has been filled with a lot of darkness, y'all. Like a lot of darkness. And you know, I'm really thankful for that because that was my training ground to get me to where I am now. So, you know, I love and embrace and accept all of that. So as this goes on, I'm gonna give like I said, go to the website, read the blog. We're gonna make the other Akashic download available to you guys because there are 2 more that I wrote, but we want to stop for a minute and address some of your comments and stuff.
How you pronounce that? KRT on, was it KRT Christian News? How you pronounce that?
Yeah. Christian?
Christian News?
Yeah.
Okay, you said I'm learning the strip club is a place of healing on some level.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't see
Yeah.
why it wouldn't be. Yeah.
Feminine energy is very healing.
Yeah.
But this goes back to the energy siphoning and the programming and the way it's been used. We just need to learn how to work with the energy better and harness it. So, you know, hopefully we'll get back to a place where we'll have sacred whores, like real talk, like temples where you go for healing, like that. Hopefully, I believe that that's where we're heading. We're going back to the golden ages.
Thank you,
So
Timmy.
we need that. That's healing. Ashe. And people have shamed women for being sensual and sexual and exotic and primal. And that's just a part of the energy. Like, why does there have to be a judgment on energy? Like, nobody walks around and they're just like, man, like the dark. We have demonized the dark, but like, ain't nobody shaming it. Like, dark, you ought to be shaming yourself. Man, I walked outside, it was so dark outside. I told darkness, you need to be shaming yourself. Like, ain't nobody like, you know, man, gravity fucked up.
Right, right.
Like gravity,
Yep.
I don't know. We might need to put a spell on gravity, cause gravity got my titties sagging and shit. Like, ain't nobody, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, energy is energy. So energy
Yeah.
is not judgmental to us. So why are we trying to judge energy?
That's right.
So that's a completely different thing than discerning somebody's character and then even your own and deciding how to move from there. But we're just talking about energy right now.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so we got to harness this, y'all. We got to tap into this. We have been very irresponsible with sexual energy, with intimacy. For men, like, it's so much that men have not learned about women energetically, not just the physical, you know,
Aspect of it.
parts of a woman's anatomy, but the energetic parts. And
how to
Yeah.
work through it and flow through it. Yeah, yeah.
that is a form of worship, you know, to yourself, for yourself, and we need that. And so this energy is just very focused on you, and you make the world better by focusing on you and listening to you.
Copper Bloom, you're right. Distorted feminine is not a good energy to be around. I just say distorted energy, period. Yeah, the feminine, the masculine, just being in those places is not good to be around. It throws everything off. Yeah, it definitely throws everything off. We've seen that, you know, in time in our relationship, where, and we've shared it, I can be in a certain energetic funk, and it will throw off Cam. It'll throw the house off. You know what I'm saying? It just an environment that is not conducive for wellness at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So, this is the ability to observe yourself, that you feel in the quickening where you can like observe yourself more. So you can feel not only like if the stored energy is coming from outside, but when it's coming from you, you can be like, that ain't, like that's not the vibe I'm trying to be on.
Right.
So, yeah, so this is why we need to this healing and to be tapping in, and we just been very, very, very programmed, very brainwashed, very deceived, and so I don't know. I feel like these next classes we're gonna do the free one first, like we always do. So we'll be going into more of the surviving religion aspects and making some connections, because this Jesus entity, this Allah entities, all of these entities, whether us or our family members had these heavy associations with, form contracts, and these contracts are impacting us on a karmic level, and working on ways of clearing that and healing and bringing in the nourishment that is necessary, which is dark energy, which is feminine energy, the sacred feminine energy. So, sacred feminine energy is very high at night. So at nighttime is a great time to tap in. It's a great time to do your meditations. It's a great time to do your chants, your spell work, your altar work, your candle magic, your affirmations, your mirror magic. Just really just getting it in and just getting deep and intimate and really getting to know yourself. And maybe maybe at nighttime you finally get the kids to sleep, if you have kids like us and stuff, and you can set some time aside to do that. Do that. That is important for you to begin ritualizing your life, and doing everything with intention, and just getting in touch and in tune again. Paying attention to your breath, to making sure that you're not breathing shallow, and taking a moment to just breathe.
Yeah.
Because the Kundalini energy is rising whether we're doing these things or not. And so the more you're not doing these things, the more negative the side effects, kind of like the symptoms, the awakening, ascension, descension symptoms, they get stronger when you're not paying attention to your body, when you're not tuning yourself. It's like an instrument. Like my body didn't used to be like that, but now, like if I want my arm to do what it needs to do, then there's certain stretches and stuff that I need to do, and certain things that I need to do to be strengthened in my arms, so that they do what I need them to do. Like you just have to live so intentional now, and it's just it could be more blissful.
I know in sports they
The
call
more
that
that you
muscle
release
memory.
resistance. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, the night is very magical, and that energy has been suppressed and now is back. That energy is back. So don't be surprised if you feel drawn to Kali, if you feel drawn to Lilith, and it seems like maybe you're coming across these names. This is how they come across your, path, where you'll see their name, or like stuff will just keep popping up, reminding you of that. And you just feel yourself drawn to that. And so I understand now, and I was just talking to Ernest about people like Prince, people like Jay-Z. There are certain people, like when they get a woman in any type of entertainment or artistic relationship with a woman, we typically begin to see the darker goddess come out of her eventually. And so you can look at, when we were in religion, though, we said this was a bad thing.
Right.
But remember, everything is opposite in this world. So whatever you were saying was bad was probably something that was beneficial, and the masses were to stay away from, so it wouldn't tap into the power. So that's why it was perceived as bad. But anyway, so Jay-Z, from Beyonce to Sasha Fierce, you have Apollonia and Vanity, who Prince worked with. So, they were able to recognize these energies. Even Rick James and Tina Marie,
Exactly.
They brought this raw primalness out of them, and it became historical. Whether, no matter how you feel about it, we can all agree that there was a form of power in that.
Yep.
and
You
owning
can see
that.
it. You can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why the church has been so afraid of it, to demonize the woman from Eve all the way down. Like, why has the feminine energy been so demonized? What is it about it that's so bad, you know?
They didn't want y'all to tap into your dark, basically, period.
Yeah,
They didn't want you to connect to your dark side.
yeah.
They wanted you to stay in the light. Walk in the light, beautiful light. You know what I'm saying? That's what
I
the
never
whole
heard that
religious
song
program.
before. You just pulled that one on me that I'm
Yeah,
not familiar with. Mhm.
that's an old
Yeah.
like hymnal.
Yeah. So see, he had his deacon come out every now and then. His deacon know these songs, and I don't know. He said it like it was a hit. Like everybody should know this.
They probably do.
I don't know that one. Jesus,
But
my head.
it don't-
I'm a little bit tougher than he is.
No, it don't
because I
matter
know that
because
song.
you the prophet too. So like shit, you knew some stuff I ain't know. Yeah, but yeah, that song, that's a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How it go? Y'all want to hear the
I
song?
don't know. I went to Sunday school enough. You know what I'm saying?
I was asleep.
Good.
I had to work.
I could.
I had to work from age 11 and up. I had to work, so I would sleep. I would miss Sunday school, but I
gotcha.
would make it to
You
to
make
the
it to service.
Yeah.
Nah, that was some after the little transition.
Yeah.
That was
That's too funny.
Yeah.
But so it's really nice to know that the planetary alignment is helping us, y'all. We getting on this path. I ain't gonna lie, like coming up against religion, that takes courage to do, to go through the books and find the sources, align the information, channel the information, to y'all, and just downloading it from the Akash. Like we're breaking some shit that has been cast over our bloodlines for a long time.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal that we're coming out of this, and so you're gonna feel some resistance. You're gonna feel some pushback.
Wow.
It's just part of the
That's an
process. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you go feel it, and we're not gonna lie to you. You go, but look, be real about this. As long as you've been trying to do right hand path oriented stuff, you've always had some chaos in your life.
Still.
You've
Yeah.
always had darkness in your life. So, it makes more sense to just begin slowing down, perceiving love through everything, all of your experiences, for you to reach your highest potential. Just begin perceiving that's how everything that comes into my reality impacts me. Nothing will get me stuck anymore. I have survived religion. I have survived indoctrination, the 3D matrix. I am finally seeing the zeros and ones. I'm finally to a place where I can
It's good,
challenge
I ain't
the
free.
shit that I thought I really believe, and now I'm willing to look at it and say, well, do I really believe that?
Right.
Or is there somebody else believe projected on me? Okay, no, I don't own that because I don't believe that. That's a big deal that we're doing that.
I mean, that what you just said is a lot. To me, the reality of Christendom, because most of everybody, that projection was placed on somebody in your family, whether it was somebody that was either whooped into them, tortured into them. It was by force. That was forced on our people to the point to where we just had ancestors who accepted it and said, you know what, for what it's worth, like, this pulls me away from the work. This gives us an opportunity to come together. This gives us an opportunity to collectively be on an accord. You know what I'm saying?
For a little
At the
while,
time.
right?
At the
For
time.
a little while, it was our saving grace.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
see how the enmeshment, the trauma bonding
How deep
was
it
created
is.
through that. That's very
Yeah,
deep.
Yeah.
So, we've been working on this for many years, purging this shit. So we just want to let you know, Like, this is a huge part of it, especially for melanated people.
Yeah.
There's something very specific about us and religion. You seem like the deeper the roots, the deeper the melanin, the deeper this entanglement goes with this oppressive, repressive energy that never wants to really release you and allow you, that you're having to intentionally and be aggressive about the narrative of your fucking life.
Right.
And we have to come out of that humble shit and all that shit we was taught. We're not saying not to be humble when I'm saying this, but what I'm saying is you gotta talk big shit to yourself about yourself as much as you probably talk the negative shit to yourself about yourself. Because if you got more of the negative loops going than talking that confident talk to yourself, then you're going to be out of balance. Right. And so there are techniques and specific ways to use mirrors specifically and tap into that and speak to that part of you. And so this is what we offer. When we offer classes, we're giving you all a kind of a brief synopsis as to what to expect. But go and check out that very first one that we did with the surviving religion. And we said that it was for conscious parenting after surviving religion. But when we're saying that, we're saying reparenting as well. So know that your inner child self is what created your ego self. And your ego self is what is with you all the time, which what is oftentimes through fear, right, causing you to avoid the shit that you actually need to step into so that you can access your purpose in life. So that you can activate fully your passion in life. And you can figure out what that is. So you see, the system that we came into of oppression was to keep us from doing that. Yo, I'm telling you, if you're watching this, you big shit. You know, like we got to start doing that. You know, that braggadocious shit. You need that to balance out the judgment and the guilt that we had placed on ourselves, trying to be and fit and trying to not be weird and not be unique and, you know, just whatever it was that you felt like you had to do to be different to fit in. You lost some of yourself. You lost your authentic self. And we're recapturing that sovereignty. We're reclaiming that sovereignty. And so this is something that takes time and steps and phases, but we give so many different ways of accessing parts of you that's been hard to access, to understanding parts of you that have been hard to understand and understand. We give you many different ways so that you all can choose what resonates with you the most. And none of the stuff that we give you is going to trap you in another system. The stuff that we go and find are things that truly will liberate you from the shit that has been holding you down. And we work with it for a while, see how it impacts us. And then that's when we present it to y'all in the form of a class. So that's how we put that together.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. Man, are you accepting yourself? Are you accepting yourself? For those of you that have come through religion, religion has us to deny ourselves. It's not about us. You know what I'm saying? But now that we know what we know, we're learning that no, we have to accept ourselves. We don't deny ourselves, we accept ourselves. Do you all see the huge contrast there in how that would be an internal, we already know it's an internal conflict, but there would be more confusion on top of confusion within the psyche, you know, within your own psyche. Like you were saying, you got to deprogram all of the mind control doctrine that you have stored in you. You know what I'm saying? How long does it take for something to become a habit? Okay, so yeah, that was a long time ago. So now we're in the process of constantly and continually building up the data that will totally wipe out all of them. And so that just only comes through, again, just doing your own soul work, affirming yourself, encouraging yourself, but not apart from the dark. Not apart from the dark. Definitely embracing the
Yeah.
dark.
You know, sometimes you can just to give out something that you can do to tap into this energy. Journaling, definitely, absolutely do that. You know, I have dark fantasies. I fantasize on different ways that I would kill people and people who, you know, I really like feel like I want to whoop your ass, and so I get very creative. You know, and the shit just pop up in my head sometimes, and I be like, whoa. You know, and it's just like it's
But
no
see, that's the
judgment.
stuff. Yeah, that's the stuff
It's no
that
judgment.
that's the stuff we've been taught to suppress.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
you don't talk about you don't even talk about
Right.
that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You know, but everybody had these
Yeah.
crazy ass dark
Yeah.
thoughts
Yeah,
because we got two natures.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And the more accepting and welcoming you are of that, you won't have an unhealthy relationship with it, an unhealthy expression with it. You know, you will find healthy ways to channel that energy, but you got to get familiar with it first, and you got to welcome it and sit with it. So one thing that you can do is just sit in the dark. You know, just sit in the dark and just sit with yourself and just see what it feels like. Like, what do it feel like? What thoughts are you hearing? What are you thinking about? This is just taking 5 minutes. You know, like I said, after the house get quiet, and just sit in the dark, no sound, no nothing, just pure silence, and just observe yourself. And by doing this, you know, this is again, with the situation with DMX, it was very prophetic because I predicted his death 4 years ago. I predicted how it would happen, and I showed the signs because I saw that they had marked him. So this is a murder by numbers kind of thing. And so for the melanated people, because we don't know so much about ourselves, definitely don't, a lot of us don't know our galactic history. We don't know the power of having EU melanin. There is a certain power that comes with having that form of melanin. There are people who are of other races that have these very black souls about them. And y'all know what I'm talking about. It's the energy thing. But to saying that to say, you really need to get to know the dark matter parts, because that is what most of the universe is made up of. It is so elusive that they still have not been able to figure it out. And we have like concentrated levels of that within us. And so, you know, they found over 7,000 penises of black men on a ship headed to China.
Yeah.
You know, like why out of everybody's penises it could be why. So we're not too spiritual to acknowledge and recognize some of the differences and not afraid to talk about them, investigate them, and to see how can we integrate and work with that energy. Like it's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You know?
In a lot of ways, yeah, there we are advanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the time to be self-reflecting and making friends with your demons, you know, so to speak. You don't have to be enemies with your demons.
Man, it's you know, you when you said that, you made me think about some movies, some childhood movies where the little kids, that's what they were friends with their demons. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it because it was a level of innocence, you know, so a monster could come in the room and, you know, a real small child that haven't been programmed yet is not going to feel fear from it.
Right.
Because there's no judgment. So
Right.
I'm not judging. Oh, it's big teeth. So there's no judgment. So this just goes back to that place of having less judgment and realizing that the demons that you do have are in your life and they are part of you because at some point you needed them, you know, and it may be a point in the future where you go need that energy. You can't always be in one energy. And so this is we want to help with the integration and being more whole working with the sexual energy, and just, yeah, 7,000. That's a lot. Yeah, you know. So yes, and it was one more thing we're gonna say. Okay, so some announcements. We have the carnelian crystals. Go check that out, y'all. These are the new products we got. We have the sacral chakra potion, fellas. Even though it might look like it's just for women, this is power in a bottle. Like real talk, powerful, powerful energies in a bottle. And I made them where the smell is not gonna be where, like it's kind of unisex, you know what I'm saying? So I'm making things with that in mind. Yeah, so you're not gonna smell so sweet, but I mean, smelling sweet might help you. I'm just saying. Who the hell says men can't smell sweet? Y'all gotta smell old spicy all the time? Like, who the fuck? We're breaking rules here, so it don't even matter.
That woman want to smell you.
The woman might want to smell you smell sweet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, but that potion is very powerful.
It's not nuts and ass, is it? I'm telling you, nobody wants to smell the nuts and ass in the arm, no, the musk armpit, so it's not that. So shit. What's wrong with him having a little? What's wrong with him having
I definitely do not want to
sweetness
smell
to
no badusi.
Yeah, see? Yeah, right.
Yeah, so yes, so check out the new products, check out the blog, check out the classes. Like, if y'all resonate and vibing with us in this energy that we bring to the awakening process, we try to lighten the load, because it should be so heavy sometimes, like we know the shit is crazy.
Yep.
Like, one day you feeling like aliens following you, another day you feel like your ass and jump timelines. I mean, it's so out there.
Yep.
Another day you feel
Spicy
like
cologne.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Like you said though, some days you feel with it, and some days you don't.
Yeah, you feel very bipolar. Like, we know we're going through all of these compartments. Just imagine where you're multidimensional, and you're becoming aware that you're multidimensional, and that there's more than one facet of you. You're many facets. You're fucking fractals of the universe that was formulated into a body. Like, that is a fucking miracle. We're all like little stars and supernovas walking around, going through our evolution and figuring this shit out, and we're scaring the hidden hand right now who has been in power to the point where they doing shit that don't even make sense, from making us wear these masks to these jabs. It's not, I mean, it's getting desperate where it's like they desperate. You can't even say what you want to say. YouTube was the place to broadcast yourself and share your message, and now this shit is so watered down and so restricted. It's crazy that the president get kicks off of Twitter. Like, it don't even sound like the earth that we're used to. But we can continue to shift and shake this shit so much where what they're trying to do will not anchor itself in our reality.
That's right.
So keep that in mind. I don't care if you feel like it's just one you and it's just one little old you. It is not. There are kingdoms within you, and there are many spiritual entities that have agreed to incarnate with you until you reach your highest evolution, assisting you. Whether you can feel it or not, you can tap in.
That's right. Yes.
So I want to give that confidence to you. If you've been doubting yourself, know that you can tap in. Do not allow this filter. It's just a filter. It's just a simulation. It's just an illusion. People out here, everybody's spiritual gurus now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is crazy, and it can make you feel some kind of way. It can make you feel like you're getting left behind. It can make you feel like you're not doing the work. It can make you feel like you need to do more, And so just know that that's a filter. That's an illusion. Whatever work you're doing and you've been doing, it is important simply because you feel that you need to do it and are doing it. You do not have to do everything that everybody else who has awakened is doing. Do what resonates with you. And that's what we're here to support and inspire. And that's why we don't ever want to bring y'all just one flat perception of something and give you one solution and one. No. Yeah. So how y'all like the show tonight? Like we done talk. What's up? Y'all digging this? Is it resonating?
Like me against the world.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's a song right there, you know?
We appreciate you too, Natasha. Thank you.
Ashe.
Lord Jah Divine. Yeah, man.
La Dolce Vita, I communicate with the dead a lot, and it's really just more so about relaxing and trusting the voices that you hear, you know. Yeah.
This message is confirmation. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, I just want to say to you, keep in mind your decisions from this point forward are shaping the next 10 years of your life. So opportunities are going to be coming. People might be knocking on your door trying to get in a relationship. Just make sure that you're making moves based on what you feel like is going to be for your highest benefit, and that you're not sacrificing and forfeiting your own future destiny that you are creating. So just know that with your decision, you are choosing different timelines. So out of all your multi-dimensional yous, and the veil has thinned to the point where we're at any point in time, we can jump to another reality, okay? Based on your decisions. So keep that in mind. And keep in mind
Thank you, Mark.
that you're
Glad you enjoyed it.
tapping into the energy that you feel in your vibe, your emotions, your thoughts. Like, that is the work. That is the real work. And as we go along, we're going to share more. But like I said, keep getting it in and doing that work with yourself. For real. Because that's where the big shit is really happening. Too much is given, much is required. Yes, it is, woman's loving life. Yes, it is, sis.
Firewater said you got a camera in her life. You calling it.
Ashe. Yeah, I mean, I feel the collective energy. I feel y'all a lot. So, you know, I have to come down out of the other dimensions, because I'm always in these other dimensions. I'm not here on earth that much. I come and do stuff and I leave for real. I mean, it is what it is, you know. I be out there getting messages and shit, and going through the akashic library and in the underworld, you know. And I'm coming back. It's crazy. It's like this great. It's this great adventure that I signed up for, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm nuts. I'm freaking nuts that I agreed to do this and
gang.
do this. Yeah. But you know, it is what it is. It's beautiful. I'm thankful for everything that got me to this point, and we're just going up from here. So if you've been dim in your light, if you've been feeling small, if you've been lacking creativity, lacking motivation, lacking inspiration, not figuring out what you're passionate about, trying to find that, all of those things can be worked through with the sacral chakra stuff that we are offering y'all, and all the other packages. We still got the third eye potion. We still got like read the reviews and shit. Like, this shit works.
Dragon protection.
Yeah,
oil.
dragon protection oil, the self-love potion.
Yes.
That self-love potion just have you glowing. It just change your auric field.
And attractive.
And it makes you attractive, and people just be drawn to you. It help you get your foot indoors and job acceptances. Like, for real, like, I'm so thankful that I can fucking put a concentrated vibration in a bottle, and people can use it and tap into that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just so grateful and so thankful. So all those products are there. We're probably gonna do like a Mother's Day special or something, since it's coming up. So we're gonna do a coupon. Like, we love to be able to give some shit and make sure that stuff is getting in y'all hands. And so we're gonna do that too. So hold up, because we're gonna put everything from the show there tonight, and then we're gonna create a coupon just for what's coming up. So some of y'all that, you know, might benefit from this can get some products, or the class, because we have the classes too on the website. Yeah.
Sage used to say, well, take my money. Now, Firewater, we do have a lower chakra healing mask. We do.
Yes.
We do. Do we still
It's
have
really,
any root
really
chakra
good. Yeah.
You got the fire agates. Yeah.
Yeah, we still got some root chakra stuff too. The root chakra mask. I'm gonna do more mask. That, like I said, I channel this stuff when it comes to me. But this mask is a really good way to have the energy of these crystals while you're sleeping. So while your pineal gland is at its highest activation to receive energy, this is why we created the eye mask. And we started it off with the root chakra because, again, a lot of us don't feel safe in this world. We're starseeds. We're not from here. You've always known you were different. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit. And so you need to be able to feel some security in being here. So that's why we started off with that. But if y'all have a special request, like if there is a sleeping mask that you would love to work with a certain outcome, let us know and we will see if we can create that, because it's a certain type of crystal gemstone that has to be used to make these eye masks for you to sleep in, so that you're healing as you're sleeping. But y'all let us know, like just send us a message on Remnants Gathering, like, hey, a sleeping mask for root chakra is great, but I think a sleeping mask for this would be fantastic. And we will work on it. That's how we create our shit. It's based on what we all need. So let us know, because we can't meet the need if we don't know.
That's right.
Yeah. And so we go deeper into the survival religion. So y'all go, if you don't do nothing else, download the free webinars and see how you feel about it. And I already know after you watch the free one, you go want the next one, because I don't know. I'm just really thankful that I don't even know how we do this, but I'm just so thankful. There ain't no school to teach you this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to learn this stuff, trial and error. So go to remnantsgathering.com. Just look around on there. It's a lot of good stuff. Follow us on Instagram, Remnants Gathering WGG. And I think that's about it.
What did you say? That's all right. I can drop trying to lay still so my crystal don't fall off. You're exactly right. Yep.
That was another reason why we created the fast. You should see me at night. I be sleep. I be having everywhere, and I was like, it's got to be an easier way.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Say I need something for my root chakra. I got the tourmaline and stuff near my bed.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So that sleeping mask would be perfect for you.
Thank you for that idea. Yes.
Absolutely. Y'all, we're gonna slide off of here.
We
it's
appreciate
been great.
y'all.
Yes, it has.
Thanks for the love. Always.
It's gonna get raw from here, so just be ready.
Yeah.
Just know it is.
Especially the stuff that we're going to, the exclusive stuff we're gonna do.
Yeah. We want to get on y'all nerves, in a good way.
We do spiritual defense work too.
Way.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Peace, Lord Ja.
Yes. What's up, fam? But it's so much more to me and Ernest. So much more. We're pacing ourselves right now. We mess with y'all tough. It's all love over here. When you tap into this current right here, change begins to happen in your life just because of the energy we're attached to. So just keep that in mind. If the energy you associate yourself with, just make sure that it's something that you see that's taking you to where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not slaves no more. We out here making decisions and making moves based on what we want to do, what we feel like is best for us. Shit, you gotta clap for yourself, pat yourself on the back. You know what I'm saying? Brush your shoulders off. You gotta do all that, because that's a big deal.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So we're gonna slide off here, and y'all already know what we about to say. We ain't gonna take no long time to say it. All right.
Man, your third eye has just been kissed. Peace.
Peace, y'all.